Okay. Not sure what's going on there. So it seems like OBS just decided to stop broadcasting for some reason. So what we will do is, I guess, restart the stream. Okay, so hopefully the stream is going through. I'm not sure, but OBS seemed to not be happy there. So maybe it is on my side that's causing YouTube to also, oh, there it goes. Okay, so maybe it was my side the whole time. Interesting. But I could have sworn I stopped and I started OBS, but it didn't do anything. Okay, so it was my side the whole time. I didn't know. Okay, so sorry about that. We just kind of got a little bit of service interruption there, but now it is up and running on both Twitch and on YouTube, which is kind of strange, but okay. That's fine. Not a big deal. So I'll have to, at the end of the broadcast, probably stitch the two videos together. So we have the start and the end combined, and then I'll probably upload it to YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, so let's continue then. Create Game Room Popsicle calls over here. From here, what we get is we call the object pool system. To get the object, we call animate from to location. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to use, right, we were right here. So what we want is index name. Index name and animation. No, that's play animation. That's not what I want. That's for override. I don't want that. I want animation complete. Do I not have animation complete? I thought I did. Let's go back over here and see. Is it? Yeah, it's handle and oh, right. Okay, so it's on the popsicle class. Okay, so that's why. So what we need is the magic popsicle class. This should have the animation complete wherever it is. Okay, so it's not here. Interesting. This does extend from, oh, wrong popsicle class. That's why. Okay. So this is what happens when you jump around a bit too much. It's easy to mix something up. So this is environment projectile popsicle. Environment projectile popsicle. That's correct. And then this here calls environment projectile popsicle handle animation complete. Does that actually exist? Yes, it does. Okay. Okay, so it does exist. I just didn't find it for some reason. Handle animation. Oh, handle animations complete. I see. Okay. I think that's why I was looking for singular, not multiple. Okay, so then since this is environment projectile, this is going to be public virtual void, and we'll mark this for basically override. I don't want to do that logic there. I want it to be specifically for the popsicle. So what we'll do is here, instead of virtual, we'll say override. So we'll have that detonate at end, should be available. So we will say detonate at end. If it equals true, so we'll override that. That means this one here, we will clear this one out. Okay, so we'll leave that there. But what I actually wanted was the other one. I didn't want this one. What I wanted was the other call. So there's another call that animation property curve makes, which is on animations complete individually. So that's the one that I want. So let's go and also put that one into the environment projectile. So this one is handle animations complete, and then there's two integers that it passes. I don't remember their names. I'll need to quickly look at them and see what they are. We'll wait for Unity to catch up. Okay, so where's the handle animations complete thing? I believe it's this one. Okay, so it's animation ID and animation type. That's what I want. So we'll name these appropriately. So it's going to be animation ID and animation type. Okay, and then this one is also marked for override. So then over here, we can grab it and say public override. Okay, so then this is the one we're going to use. Not actually going to use this one. But we will take the code out of this one, put it into there, and I guess we don't really need this for now. Let's just disable it then, just in case we do need to use it later, just so I remember. Okay, so handle animations complete. If detonate equals true, I want to see animation that did complete. So we will just kind of temporarily output this plus this. Okay, I just want to see this output because I want to see the animation ID. Animation type I don't think matters as much, but let's do that anyway since we're already here. Let's do that anyway. We'll say animation type as well. Okay. That way it's pretty descriptive. So now when we go back here, oh, I do need to link it in the inspector. It's a good thing I just remembered that. Okay, so right down here in the detailed one, we'll hit the plus sign there, grab this, drag and drop it into here, and then we will select our appropriate function, which is really nice because it knows which one takes two parameters. I can't show you right now. Let's go like this. Okay, so because this one takes two parameters, it automatically brings this one up to the top and it makes a horizontal line in between them, which I really like. So if the function criteria matches what it's supposed to be calling, I really like that it does that. It's really helpful. Okay, so we got that in our prefab. Now when we go and run it, we should see that output the override for handle animation complete. So let's go ahead and, oh, it just shut off. Okay, so I'm going to throw it and nada. Okay. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting a animation complete thing with the details, and it should have been the color blue. Okay. Maybe it's the if condition that's failing. So let's take out the if condition. So we're just straight calling this. So we'll give Unity a sec to catch up. We'll run it and have a look at it and see kind of what's going on. This Unity 2022 version sure is sluggishly slow compared to the 2021 version. There we go. So that's what I wanted, right? So there's our blue notification right here. So it's telling me animation ID is 0, animation type is -1. I'm not sure what the -1 is, but okay. So if we do another one, yeah, what is type? I don't remember what type is. But anyway, so this is working. The shadow that it casts is working, so that's all great. What we're going to use is this animation complete event, this one here. We're going to use this both to recycle the object or play a secondary animation, and it's going to trigger the next visual effect, which is going to be the explosion, because at this point that's when it reaches the very end. So this detonate at end, that should have, I think, been set, if I'm not mistaken. So if we say game popsicle and oh, okay, so will detonate, that's why, because we set it to false and we were checking for it to be true. Okay, let's take that into account then. So what we will do is we will say if and then else, for right now, let's do this. Okay, and then we will and we'll do that. Okay, either way, it's going to recycle. So what we will do then is call, I believe, recycle, and it should put it back into the object pool. So let's have a look at recycle. Sets visible equals false, and then it sets it back into the object pool. Okay, so that sounds good. Let's test that theory though. So when we get it, we call restore, which is what we have to do because it was previously recycled. So we call restore. And then, yeah, all of this looks good to me. So let's test it and see, are we going to successfully use the object pool system or not, is the question. Okay. So we will run it. Okay. So this is going to be the object pool, and this over here is going to get the object, the popsicle created at the very end here. So it'll come in below this one briefly. It'll play its animation, and then once it's done, it'll get moved over to the object pool container, and it'll be reparented under that, and it'll be disabled. So we shouldn't see it. So let's try that. So we'll throw it. Okay, so it came from there, we saw it, and then now it's under the object pool. Okay, so now we'll leave it highlighted. So we'll go to use it again and see what happens. Okay, yeah. So we're using the same object Now we won't have a million of them. But if we use more than one, okay, so one will be in the pool, and now they should alternate. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that looks good to me. Okay, so with that done, let's go for some aesthetics. This is the part that it gets to be a little bit more interesting. Okay, so for that, we'll switch to the other scene just because it's easier. I don't want to have to keep... where's my scenes? Test scene. Okay. So I just want to be able to click play, and I wanted to be able to play it again and again. Okay, so what we'll do is we will add a particle system to it. I'll need to likely draw some stuff, but initially we'll use the existing effect, and then we will add to it, if that makes sense. But since it is a projectile, almost every single projectile is going to have a particle system. What I'm thinking is we'll put it in the projectile kind of layer of the hierarchy. But then we'll control it through the popsicle class, which extends from projectile. It's kind of what I'm thinking of right now, but we'll figure it out. Whether it's in one hierarchy or another, it's not a big deal. We will figure that part of it out. Okay, so let's see. What I want to do is add the particle system to it first, and I have the right particle in mind, kind of which I think would be perfect for this. Where is that? Effects. KO particle. Yeah, that's the one. So we'll grab that one. We will copy that. And we'll take that into the popsicle prefab. Okay. And not container, but we will create a new one. So, and we'll call it effects. And then under effects, we'll say paste as child. Okay. So there's our other one. But of course, these are all stationary right now. It's for when it moves is when we'll really see it in effect. So this will be the particle effect trail. Sure, we'll call it trail for now. Okay, what we need to do is we need to add a reference to it so we can trigger the where is it? Nope, wrong class. So we'll put it in at this layer if we haven't done so already. No, so right here, basically, we will put a serialized field, private particle system, and we will say particle system trail. And then what we will do is we will expose it. Not publicly, but it'll be protected. So the extended class can use it, but we don't want outside a class outside of this to use it directly. They'll have to go through one of our exposed functions. So what we'll do is we will say protected particle system, and we will call it particle system trail. Right? So then we can access it here on, where's the on play? Okay, so I'll need to, we'll need to dispatch the, or capture the event when we're first told to play, not play, is it play animation? No, animate from to location when we call play intro. So what we want is a internal event. So it'll be another function. So this will be protected virtual void, which we're going to override. Internal event animate, or we'll say not animate, but I can't really think of an appropriate term. This is often a challenge. I want to be descriptive, but I don't want it to be overly wordy either. So internal event projectile launched, we'll say. So we will call that right here, and then we will override it here. Okay, and then we will say play particle trail. Okay. But then our trail is going to disappear as soon as recycle is called. So maybe we'll need to override recycle and make it behave a little bit different so that the we'll figure it out. Let's get it working first. So this is going to be a bit overkill right now, and I'll modify it and kind of bring it down a little bit once we get it going. But let's see what it looks like first, and then we'll modify the aesthetics of it. Okay, so that did absolutely nothing. Oh, I forgot to set the reference. We did all that, and then we forgot to set the reference in the right here. So we need to set our particle effect trail as the reference. That was obviously a mistake. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, still nothing. Interesting. Line 49, particle system trail dot play. Okay, so it's telling me that it's still null, which is a bit strange, but okay. So we'll go back to Popsicle. Particle system trail should not be null. So this should be set correctly. It should exist. So how is it coming up as null? When we call particle system trail, it's returning particle system trail, which is exactly the reference we're setting. So how is that ending up as a null value? How is this a null value? Are we accessing it anywhere else? No. So the only thing we're doing is returning it. Protected. Okay. Interesting. How are we getting null? Let's try it again and backtrack it. We'll look at the stack trace and see at what point kind of is it null. Is it because this thing is a prefab and that reference is just not set? Oh, yeah, okay. That's why. So that is because I think I modified it. So let's see if we can reset the overrides. No overrides. Okay, so if you have no overrides, how is this null? Because that should clearly be what is this thing anyway? Prefab. Let's go to select asset. Oh, okay. That's what's happening. Okay, so that's the wrong prefab. Whoops. It should be this one here, but it's actually ended up being used as this one here. This one is not set. That's the default one. Okay, so that's what's happening. So what we can do is we'll take this one and kind of put it right in between these. And then position-wise, we will set the position to where this one is. So let's just copy the transform. And then we'll say paste position. So they'll be right on top of each other. We'll delete that one. So now this one should be the correct popsicle one. So then our button, this one here, if I can click on it, nope. Is that not the right button? I thought it was. Oh, it is. Okay. So button, it should say missing. Okay, so it has missing. Where's our projectile? Environment projectile popsicle. Select that and then go to environment projectile popsicle and we will tail it to test animation 0. Okay. If you're not aware of it, F is the shortcut for zooming in like that. When you have something selected, F zooms in and zooms out, but it allows you to pivot around an object. It's so helpful. Learn the shortcuts. They're even some of them. I don't know all of them, but the ones that I do know, they are so helpful. Like to use Control D to duplicate, Shift Alt A to enable and disable an object. Okay, what happened to our object though? Okay, I'm not sure what happened. It just disappeared. Oh, it's in the object pool. Okay. That's interesting. How is it in the object pool? Okay, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. I don't know how that happened, but okay. Let's huh. On handle animations complete, it's calling recycle. Maybe it's the recycle that's doing that. Let's disable recycle temporarily. Give Unity a sec to catch up. Okay. So why was it recycling immediately off the bat? Handle animations complete shouldn't be called until the very end. Anyway, so here's what it looks like. It's a little bit overkill, but still, it looks pretty cool, right? Particle effects are pretty cool. So that's not what we want exactly, but it kind of gets the point across of, right? So what we want is to be themed to what the popsicle is going to be doing. So what I want to do is I want to kind of bring down some of that. It's a little bit too much right now. So we'll go into it. Okay, so right now it's got way too many things going on. We'll go to the texture sheet and we'll just remove some of this stuff. Probably a good chunk of this. It's too bad there's no graphic that kind of shows you. But we can go through it one by one, I guess, like this. Really? Every time it resets? Okay, so that's better, I guess. All right. So what I want to do is remove some of the... I don't like how it keeps resetting to the center of the screen. I don't need that. Okay, so we'll keep the smaller ones for now. So 16 by 16 is fine. 7 by 7 is fine. 20 by 20 is too much. We'll remove that one. Okay, so we have a star. 14 by 14. I think that one is okay for now. The yellow star, I think I want to remove that one. This one we'll leave for now. That one we'll leave for now just because it's smaller. Okay, and then I want to get rid of the... I really don't like how it keeps resetting. Why does it keep resetting to the center of my screen? It's a little bit undesirable, to put it mildly. Okay, so this 125 by 25 is definitely one I want to remove. This one we'll remove as well. That one, probably remove that. Okay, and then we'll remove the last two. Okay, so what we got then is we got some cloud poof kind of effect thing. And then what I want to do is I want to mix in kind of like a snowflake kind of theme. So instead of these stars, I want to remove them, and I want to have kind of like a bluish kind of theme in our effects, right? But I'll just leave these in here temporarily, just so we can see what it looks like, right? So when we click play, right? So again, that's a bit too much right now. I think I'll need to bring down the circle or square of where it's emitting from. Yeah, it's a bit too much still. We want to definitely bring that down. So let's do that. Actually, I could just leave it playing and tweak it easier that way, I think. Okay, so where's the particle system effects, particle system? And then what we want is the shape. So instead of 0.4, I think we'll bring that down to quite a bit smaller, so 0.2. Okay, so that's a bit more like it. I kind of like 0.2 for now. But since it's a popsicle and it's going to be a freeze effect that comes from it, we want to appropriately theme the trail and, of course, reduce the trail. Right now it's a bit too long. We want to reduce it, not that much, but maybe like 25 to 50% at most, because we do want it to be a shorter trail. And at its peak, it's currently emitting about 100. When we bring down the overall, where's the duration? I think it's duration that will affect it. Let's bring it down to 0.5. Oh, yeah, no, that's definitely not it. It's not duration. I think it's life or something. Lifetime. 3 to 5. I think that's what it is. I think it's lifetime. Yeah, so instead of 3 to 5, let's try 2 to 3 and 3 and see what that does. Yeah, that's more like it. So at its peak, it's emitting about 60, 70, almost 70 particles, which is perfectly reasonable. We want it to be a low amount, but at the same time, we want it to look good. I will likely reduce the overall because it might look a little too cluttered, but at the same time, it looks pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll select this and say copy component, stop it, right? And then we will click on the 3 dots and say paste component values. So what we changed will remain. And then we should be able to go to our overrides and say override, click on particle system, and those are the only changes. So I'll just say apply all. So that'll be in our base now. If we play it, it should still be retained. And then what we'll do is we'll go into Sprite and we'll create some appropriate stuff. Okay. Okay, so I had another particle one that I did. There we go. So here's the other one that I did. What I want to do is this will be kind of a generic particle system for now. Or maybe we can just make a different one because it all ends up going into our atlas anyway. But it just helps to kind of keep things grouped. So I think that's what I'll do, is I will yeah, we'll make a new one. So if you just bear with me for a second, well, I'm going to duplicate this one, and then from this one we'll deviate from it and make a different one. So then if we change stuff on one, we won't affect the other one. But if we want to mix and match, we can definitely do that, because it's going to be using our atlas anyway. Just need to go to the folder, Sprite, and then what was it called? 128 by 128. So that's explosive smoke. Okay. So this is what we're going to work off of. What I'll do is I will, what is this background? Not sure, but it doesn't matter. It won't get exported anyway. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take out the ones that we're not going to be using. Not going to be using this big one here. Let's make sure we're not cutting into anything. I don't think we're going to be using this one here either. These ones, I will likely change them to some degree. The star is a no-go. These ones don't match the colors I want to use. I want it to be a blue and white gray kind of theme. Yeah, okay. So then what we need is a snowflake. So we need a good snowflake concept, something that'll work on a very, very small size, something like this one maybe. I like that conceptually. Of course, we're not going to copy it directly. I like this style. Let's see, what else? These other ones, they're a bit too big. I do like this one, but that's way too many pixels. We will not likely be able to make something that big, because that's pretty big in terms of pixel size. How are we doing for time? Oh, wow. Time is just flying by. It is really flying. Okay. I think it's a matter of just drawing whatever. Doesn't really matter. So let's just draw something instead of nothing. But this blue color as well, I'm not a big fan of it. So let's see if we can make a little bit better of a blue color. Something that I will like a little bit better. So let's see what we can come up with. I think we want it to be softer. I already forgot the shortcuts. Okay. They're very similar. Maybe try going a little bit in this direction. A little bit lighter. A little bit lighter. Okay, so that seems okay-ish. Let's see if we can get a better blue out of this one as well. Let's do it this way and use the search and replace. It's a really useful tool to use. Took me a while to figure out how it works. I'm not opposed to that, but I'm not entirely content with that either. However, we will use it for now. Okay, so snowflake. Usually they follow a specific pattern of some sort. So it would be something like, because they do follow a crystallized pattern, and I'm not an expert by any means, so we're just going to wing it. I'm not sure about that one. Okay, so that's our first attempt. That's fine. We'll keep going. We'll make some other ones. We want some small ones too, though, right? So for the small ones, let's try something very small. Okay. I know, not exactly a snowflake, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Just need a little bit of practice here. I am looking at the references to a degree, but they're just way too big in terms of detail. We need something that's much, much, much smaller in terms of the pixel size and formation for it to be able to work. So I'm trying to see what I can do while not directly copying off of what I see, just using it as a kind of a source of inspiration. Because that's not that many pixels to work with. It's really not. I think that's kind of a snowflake, almost. We'll get there, though. Let's see. References. I wonder if I could make something like that work. So if we go like this. Yeah, I don't think there's enough pixels. Not enough pixels to make it work. We'll still try it, of course. Who knew drawing snowflakes would be this hard? Really? Okay. And then from here, what we could do is, I guess something like that. And then of course I'll grab it, move it over, flip it, and bring it back. Not sure if that really counts as a snowflake, but it looks kind of okay. I think we need to maybe prune these a little bit. That could work, I think. Oh, something's not right here. There we go. Okay, it seemed a little bit off. Okay, again, I'm still learning. Making snowflakes is hard. It's not easy when there's so few pixels that you have to work with. I had no idea it would be this difficult to make snowflakes. Of course, I'm not going to use all of these. The ones that I like, I'll keep. The ones that I don't like, I won't keep. So it'll be a mixture of these cloud thingies and then some snowflakes of kind of a white, gray, and soft blue mix to imply ice, frozen, or snow. Because then later on, once it hits the ground, we're going to do a secondary effect where it's going to be a mixture of textures, shader, particle system, something to do a freeze, a flash freeze kind of effect. And then of course, then there's the tertiary effect, which is if there's anything in the area, they will be frozen and they'll have the visual representation of being frozen in ice, which will be the tertiary effect. So we're not quite there yet. I just want to get the primary and secondary first. But first, let's get the primary, which is just the trail. Okay, so what else can we do? Way too detailed. Want something simple. Like super simple. What if we were to do like, kind of like a frozen heart almost? Can we do that? I don't know, but we'll try it. Let's try this and see if we can kind of get this to work somehow. I don't remember the shortcut for rotate. Rotate is... Yeah, I don't remember. Okay, so we'll need to space them just one more pixel. I think that could maybe work. Maybe a little bit of white in the middle. or something. We'll see. We'll see which ones I keep and which ones I ended up getting kind of rid of. You could try, I don't know if there's enough pixels to try a circular pattern of some sort. Because snowflakes make a lot of interesting patterns. Could do a diamond kind of one, maybe. I don't know if there's enough pixels again to be able to do that. Maybe there is. Not what I was thinking of. I wanted them to be a little bit farther apart. So maybe if we pull it apart one more pixel, it might work. Okay, let's go bigger. We do have that option. Okay, so if we were to go bigger, how would that work? I am looking at the references, but I don't want to directly borrow from them. And at the same time, some of them are just too detailed. I can't really use them all that well when they're too detailed. I want something simple because you're only going to see it for a very short period of time. So I want it to be quickly identifiable to know exactly what it is and then be able to just immediately use it, really. That's kind of the idea anyway, but we'll see. So maybe one or two more patterns, and then I'll bring them into the project and have a look at it and see how it looks like. A lot of them are similar patterns, of course, because when there's only so many pixels, there's only so many patterns you can make, right? But there's definitely some room for some interesting patterns. It just needs a little bit of creativity and a little bit of skill, of course, in making snowflakes, which I'm totally new to it. So to be honest, it's not really my area of expertise, let's just say. I want to do kind of like a mixed diamond pattern one. I'm just not sure how that would look. So let's try it anyway and see. So from here, if we were to go to about here, to here. Let's erase that. Is there not a rotate? Transform, Control T. Control T. Yeah, no, that's definitely not what I want. I want to rotate, like a shortcut rotate. So it's edit EO9. Can I do that? Alt EO9. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. No thanks. I want an actual shortcut, like control something or whatever. I'm not going to do a 4-button keyboard shortcut combination thing. It's just not going to work for me. But this might work. So if we split them out a little bit, can we get this to work? Pretty close. Pretty close. Right? And then what I'll do is I'll add another, like a smaller diamond shape here of some sort from probably here. I think that could work, right? And then it'll just need maybe a fill of some sort or simplified pattern. I don't want to do complex patterns. I want them to be really simple. So it'll probably end up being something like this. I kind of feel like there should be a hole there maybe, or something. No, it doesn't feel right. Anyway, let's try this. So this one here, let's go, I think it's Q. Is this the right spot? I don't think it is. This seems like the right spot. Right? Like that seems okay, I think. Kind of gets the point across. These stars, I don't think they're quite what I'm looking for. This one could be good. How can we make it work though? Maybe we don't need to do anything. We'll just move it over to here for now. These are gone. I do kind of like this one. It's small, but it's okay. This one is tiny, but whatever. We'll move that somewhere. This one could work. This one is too plain. This one I don't mind it, but I don't know if it'll ever even be visible just because it's just dots. It'll get lost in the mix of other stuff. What if we kind of made it stand out a bit more though? What if we gave it a little bit more thickness? I'm just trying to see if this shape could work in the mix of the others while kind of preserving its aesthetics, but also not having it be lost in the mix. I think this could work, maybe. We'll see. Because it's going to be in front and in behind other stuff, so I don't want it to just get kind of lost in the noise, is what I'm thinking. I think the blue needs to be a bit more dominant. Let's try the other blue. So we'll do a search and replace. We'll replace this blue with, oops, with this blue. Not a big fan, to be honest. Not at all. But at a smaller size, it looks okay. Again, it just kind of gets lost in the noise, though. This one, the inner colors are too, I don't know, maybe they need to be a bit lighter to stand out a bit more. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. It's not quite white, but it's close to it. Okay, and then this one is a no-go, but it was a good first attempt. Okay, so then we got too many of these stars. I want to have a white one and a blue one. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the shape of them, really. It's really what it is. Can I make a better one, I wonder? Terrible at drawing stars. Stars is one of those things that's just difficult to do with so few pixels that I just end up butchering it. I don't know why. It just happens, honestly. I think it was a good start, but it just didn't quite go the direction that I wanted. I don't know, the star seems a little off to me. Maybe if we go like this. Still doesn't seem right to me. Huh. Okay, well, whatever. I'm going to... Let's remove these. Okay, so that's our particle effect so far. I think it'll look good regardless for now, but it's a matter of adding some polish to it later is really what it comes down to. I think that's going to be the challenge. I do think that's going to be the main challenge. Either way, let's go with it for now. It's good enough for now. So we will export this. Okay. And then we will bring that into our effects folder. Multiple we do want to say it is a full rect for sure. We want to say nope, not that one. I keep forgetting point no filter, and this one is a 128 by 128. Compression none. Let's apply that. Okay, and then we'll say slice automatic is fine. Should be okay. Apply it. Okay, so now we have that in. We should be able to go to our texture atlas, pack it. Okay, so now our effect is in there, and what we'll do is we'll go into our prefab and swap it out. We'll swap out these effects for the other effects. Oh wow, 15, 16. That's a lot. Okay, that's fine. So what we'll do then is we'll just so we don't lose it. Oh wow, that's so big. How did that happen? Not what I wanted, but okay. Okay, so what we'll do is we will swap these out for the other one, which is going to be a direct swap from... I wonder if there's an easier way of doing it. Can I drag and drop multiple into here? Nope, only one. How do you do multiples? I guess we gotta just do it one by one. That's kind of unfortunate, but okay. I mean, we'll deal with it, but I was kind of hoping we could do multiple instead of just one at a time. Oops, we got two. We got 3 threes. Now we want 3, 4, 5. Oh, hi, Uzak. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Came just in time. I'm messing around with some particle effect stuff to make the popsicle throw animation look really cool with a nice little visual aesthetic trail. And at the beginning of this broadcast, we're having some technical difficulties, which I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I think OBS was just doing some weird stuff. So my broadcast was kind of messed up. But, you know, it happens. So it's all good. Will it show a flick of the wrist when throwing the popsicle? XD. I don't think it's in the budget to do that kind of animations for every single character, for every single direction. I don't think that's realistic, but that would be kind of neat, wouldn't it? So I would say probably not, but I think as a consolation, you'll see what I'm working on, and you can tell me if you like it or not. Okay, so I think I got all of them. Okay. So that looks like we did get all of them. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Okay, so let's try it and see what does it look like when we go and throw it now. It should look pretty cool. I think that looks pretty good. I think there's maybe too much going on. I don't want it to look like a smoke trail. I want it to look less like less of a smoke trail and more of something that's following behind it. So how can we achieve that? We can, where's the emission? 250. Let's try, instead of 250, let's go with 200. See if that kind of brings it down a little bit more. What if we brought it down even more? Let's go down to 100. Because I don't want it to be a huge trail. I do want some scatter of different things in between. So maybe we'll go with that for now. Doesn't quite feel like enough. I think we need a bit more than 100. Let's go back to 200 and see what did that look like. Yeah, 200 could be fine, I think, for now. I think it's kind of okay for now, but let's test it and see what does it actually look like. Make it more like a sparkly effect, like a sheen icy effect. I'm trying to make it look a certain way, but it's not easy to draw snowflakes. Like, you just came in afterwards, so these are the individual things that I did, and even this was difficult to draw snowflakes. Like, this is my first time trying to do pixel art snowflakes, and it's not easy to do. It's really not. So I kind of did what I could for now. I think what I'll have to do is just kind of go with it for now, and then iterate on it more later on once I get a better understanding of how to make snowflakes in pixel art and whatnot. But I think it's a matter of getting a better understanding of it. Those add a smoky effect which don't suit it, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I don't want it to look like a smoke effect. I want it to be more like a icy sparkle trail of some sorts with snowflakes almost, but something that resembles ice, right? Because the two animations of the trail behind it and then the secondary, which is the explosion when it explodes, they need to kind of have things in common, right? So these circular smoke patterns, they're from the other effect that I did. They're just kind of there for now because I didn't want to keep drawing and drawing and drawing. But I think the ice kind of or the snowflake pattern kind of makes sense, but I just need to get a better understanding of how to make it look more like what it should look like and less like a smoke effect, I guess. But I think it looks okay for now. So let's copy the component. We'll stop it. We'll go into the prefab, paste component values. I just want to make sure that it did hold. And then I'll just go throw some popsicles and see what it looks like. Okay, so that looks okay for now. Let's switch to the other scene because it helps to make it helps to kind of look at it with a an actual scene. Okay. What happened to the spinning animation? And we lost our... So the spinning animation stopped, and it stopped recycling and using the object pool system. Yeah, it really does look kind of like a smoke trail. I want to step away from that. I want to make it look different than that. Yeah, I definitely don't want that. But what happened though? Because it was working a second ago. Previously anyway. Oh, right. We disabled recycle. Because it would keep on disappearing. Okay. But why is rotation not working though? Why is rotation not working? It was working. So when we call to throw the popsicle, travel time, direction, start, end. Okay, so that's fine. But then when we go here, I think it has to do with the prefab. I think it was because I was using the wrong prefab. Nope, rotation is set correctly here in the prefab. Height is 2 and 3. Rotation is 500 and 700. Detonate at end. We don't really care. That's interesting. What happened to the rotation? I could have sworn rotation was working and then it stopped. I don't understand. How are we doing for time? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to have to get going pretty soon. So get random rotation. So that's correct, but are we applying it? Rotation end, rotation start. Okay. Are we calling this? Test 0. Yeah, of course we're calling it. Why is it not rotating though? I don't understand. I thought it was working and then it stopped working. I don't really know. It's not crashing, so I'm not sure exactly what the cause of it is, but if we go back to this scene, okay, so rotation is clearly working. But then it's not working. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I kind of do, of course, but in my mind, if it works in one location, it should work the same because they're calling the same function ultimately. So when we call that function, what it's calling is test 0. Yeah. So test animation 0 restarts the position. Position end. Okay, so this is just purely test. This is calling animate and rotate while, oh, okay, it's not. Okay, so we're missing, yeah, okay. We're not calling it. We're setting it, but we're not calling it. Let's remove that from there. Okay, so that means it wasn't working. It was just my imagination because it was working in one location, but it wasn't. So in the test function, we're calling it, but I don't want to call it there because rotation, I want to have a bit more control over it. So when we say animate from to location, right? I don't want to call two functions there, but in the internal event projectile launched, what we'll do is on our popsicle, we'll call the rotation one. Yeah, that's what we need to do. So to do that, then we need access to we'll need access to this rotation range. Do we have access to it? No, we don't. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll take rotation range and we'll make it a protected vector 2, and it'll be a rotation range. Okay, so that way we can access rotation range here, like so, pass it in, and it'll be conditional. So if we don't want particles, if we don't want rotation, we can just disable it. Or sorry, not call it at all, but it'll be optional. It won't be mandatory. So this should fix it, I think, on both the test environment and when we're in the kind of the test room area. So let's test it and see just to make sure first, of course. Okay, so it does work here. And then if we change to the other scene, okay, but then we're still not recycling. We're not using the object pool system, right, because we disabled it, of course. Okay, so let's bring object pool recycling back. Give Unity some time to catch up. Okay, so our pool should consist of 1, and our popsicle should be just 1. Okay. Okay, so I would say that's working. We're reusing the same objects. We're not accumulating any extra objects. I'd say that's success. Okay, so then we need to go back to the effect. I want to remove those smoky things. Let's just go with simplifying it a bit more and see if we can make it a little bit better. I'm really running low on time here. I got to go pretty soon. Actually, I should have already gone offline, but I still am not entirely sure what happened at the start of the broadcast. Okay, scene. Okay. Oh, right. We can't. If we have recycle enabled at the beginning, for some reason, it just gets recycled. For some reason, I don't want to try and debug that right now, but let's just disable recycle temporarily. So what I want to do is remove those white kind of poof things and see what it looks like. So what we'll do is kind of just remove them one by one, I guess, and see what it does look like. So we'll go down here, texture. Okay, so this one's a 16 by 16, 7 by 7, 20 by 20. Okay, so let's remove this one, the 20 by 20. Okay, what does it look like now? Okay, a little bit better. Maybe remove the, nope. I really don't like how that resets at the center of my screen. So there's more of these that I want to remove. The star stuff I want to leave in. Oh, those got split. Okay, so that's an incorrect split. I was wondering what happened to that. Okay, so those, that's why. Okay, so that was wrong. Let's fix that real quick. So we'll go to effects. I didn't mean for this to happen. I wanted this to be all of them as one. Let's actually, no, we'll just leave this stuff as is for now. I don't want to start editing this right now, but okay, so that should reduce the overall count a little bit. So we'll go back here. Let's play it again. So for those of you, of course, that are new, hello and welcome. We're pretty much reaching the end of this broadcast here for today. I do broadcast on Tuesdays and on Fridays, or at least I try to pretty consistently. Yeah, that kind of looks a little bit better just by doing that. You're welcome to follow me on Twitter or on Instagram to see when I go live. I only broadcast or post on there when I'm going live. Oops, wrong one. What I usually do is just work on the project on my spare time. Where is the, I can't see it. Emissions, shapes, no. Emissions, color by, oh, it's right here, of course. Okay, so the missing ones, we can take them out, out, out. Okay, so it's a bit too clouded or cluttered. So I primarily just work on this project on my spare time because I enjoy the project and it's something I'd like to continue to work on for the foreseeable future. We'll remove that one too. Did I not remove that? Oh. You can't remove the first one. Really? You can only hit the plus sign, but what if I wanted to remove the first one? Well, that's kind of silly. So if I wanted to remove the first one, how would I remove the first one? All the other ones you can remove. The first one only has an add. I think that's not the best usability. Okay, but whatever. Okay, so that seems a bit more shard-like, I guess. I think we need to maybe remove even all of these. Or maybe not all, but a good majority of these. Let's remove that one. Keep that one. This one is okay-ish. We can remove that one. I don't like that it keeps resetting its position. Okay, so this one, yeah, I guess we can leave that for now. I want to remove that first one. I don't know how. Okay. Okay, and then let's bring down the emission a little bit. So we'll go 150. I do want to remove that first one. I don't know how to remove it. I guess we can just set it to nothing. Okay, what if we bring this down even more? Let's bring this down like considerably. I think that actually makes more sense to have less of a trail than more of a trail. Right? It does make more sense to have less of a trail than more of a trail. It allows you to kind of see it more. Let's save this one. So we'll say copy component. We'll stop it. Go into the prefab. Go on to here. Paste component values. Okay, and this will be my final test that I'm going to do for now. Scenes, game room. Oh, I forgot to enable recycling. So many details. I can't keep track of this stuff. Yeah, I think that kind of makes more sense. It's more subtle. And it kind of puts a bit more emphasis on it, and it looks less like a smoke effect or a smoke trail. Anyway, so that's going to be it for me today. That's going to be it for me today. Of course, next broadcast will be on Friday, as per usual, and we'll continue more or less probably where I kind of got things to now. Of course, if I can make some time to work on the project a little bit later, I will. Yeah, if you like the idea of the project, you're welcome to join us on Discord. Discord is more about just the players and the community and whatnot. If you want to stay kind of up to date with the project, I do write dev journal forums every 2 to 3 weeks or so. Sometimes more often, sometimes less often. But yeah, so that's going to be it for me today. So thank you for watching. Have a great evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.